Hey designers, it's Jenna Gaidusek here, and this is a special training that I'm bringing to you today. It is all about Howard Elliott and their integrations with AI and just technology in general so that designers can better use their website, which is new, by the way. It is fresh, it is user-friendly, it is intuitive, and it's everything that we have asked for and wanted in a website for sourcing and looking for products quickly that just didn't like I don't know why this didn't exist before, but they have thought of everything. Okay, we're gonna walk through this and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, of course that makes sense, why didn't that happen before? But what they have done with their new website launch over at Howard Elliott truly is beautiful, seamless, and helps designers with their workflow to be able to find, source, and order products like with no issues. You know how difficult it can be trying to find products online, and then you got to quote them and order them and hope that inventory is correct, right? Not a problem with the new Howard Elliott website. So let's dive in. I am so pumped to show you guys this. I just love tech forward manufacturers. So thank you, Howard Elliott. Thank you, Colleen Daly and Bree Cassidy, for joining me today for this exclusive little training video that I've never done before because nobody else has been so awesome at doing this. So thank you, ladies, for being here today. Let's get started.
So this is the new website. Much cleaner, easier look, much more. It gives us the ability to feature a lot more of our photography than it previously did. So we show a lot more lifestyle imagery, a lot cleaner imagery, and it's just an easier navigation. So kind of starting on the front page, rather than hiding how you register or sign up on the site, it is right here at the very top. As we launch this new site, if somebody had access to the previous site, then all they're going to do is click on that forgot password. And it's just, they're going to enter their password and they're going to be reset automatically. New customers do have to go through some of the questions and things like that, but as long as they provide us their company information, it's pretty easy. When Bree and I had designed the site and worked on it, we really looked at the customer experience of it and what was going to make it super easy to shop on the site and make things more clear of what we do, because I think many people just think of Howard Elliott as the mirror company. And this site allows us to show that we're so much more than that. So one of the first things that you see are all of the categories that we play in. So all of these are the different categories. Everything's stocked in Chicago in our warehouse. And then you go into a new arrivals section. This section is really cool because as product comes into stock, this updates.
Oh, nice.
So it's constantly showing people what came into stock recently. They can scroll through that and see what all of those things look like. And it's not always mirrors. You'll get wall art in there. So it's just nice for them to see what's there.
Yeah, that's nice. Quick glance.
Yeah, it's just, and it changes regularly. And then our collections, and these are kind of things that we've put together. You know, we have a whole collection of product that's made in the USA. So one thing that people don't necessarily know about us is that we have a domestic cut and sew facility. So all of our poofs, our pillows, our throws, and our slip covers are manufactured in Chicago. So we do all that cut and sew domestically. It also allows us to do, so if somebody wanted this poof in a different fabric or their fabric, we can accommodate that as well. We've done ton of custom pillow programs. So this gives us a lot of flexibility, especially now when importing things is a little uncertain.
Can I ask you a question about that before you move on? So you said you do a lot of pillow programs. Does that mean basically designers are potentially creating their own pillow collection lines that they're selling, like maybe on their website themselves? Or are you doing custom per project?
So both. So we really try to not put any program into like a cookie cutter, same thing for, one size fits all. And we do that across the board. So whether it's special pricing for a customer or a special program. So I have some where designers have designed a pillow. They send us the fabric. They tell us exactly what it needs to look like. And we charge them for the labor and all of that for it. I've done custom programs at retail for retailers who say, you know what, we want our own program. We'll give them the resource to be able to get their own sew-in label. So it's got their logo on it and all of that. Those are really fun because we get to do them seasonally. So I'll go out and meet with them and they'll say, here are the colors that we're going for this season. here's where we want to retail it at, and we reverse engineer it. What's nice about a lot of those programs is they're done much quicker than a normal program because it's just here.
Yeah.
Also, I've talked to designers who have scrap fabric that they've had people manufacture for them, but then they just end up with kind of a basic pillow. And I've kind of wandered through some spaces and said, hey, you could have your own flag on this pillow and it could be yours, and that's, so we're really flexible about that.
That's really good to know. I don't think a lot of people know that about you too. So I'm glad you explained that.
Yeah. And it's not, and the minimums, if I'm buying the fabric, there are minimums based on like what I have to utilize of the roll and things like that. If they're sending us the fabric, there's no minimums associated with that.
Okay.
So that's a reach out to me kind of situation if it comes up. Yeah. So a little bit about the company, and I don't know how many people are super familiar with us, but we've been around for 25 years, family owned. We started with mirrors, which I think is why everybody knows us as the mirror company, but we are obviously so much more than that now. I think our first assortment was 25 pieces. We have about 5,000 SKUs now, so
wow,
a little more. So people can read more about that story. And then I love these next two sections. So this is reviews from some of the customers that we've worked with in the past. It just kind of gives them a voice of how their experience has been with us, in working with us in different ways. And then the next section down below that is down here is Instagram. So these two sections where we get to kind of hear from our customers, we love. So the Instagram one is dynamic also as Bree posts new Instagram stories. They'll go through here. We also feature a lot of our customers. So we have a program called Friday Friends, and Bree is always looking for new Friday Friends. So we'll have retailers and designers submit imagery to us of how they used our product, tell us a little bit about the design, where the install was, those kinds of things, and we'll feature that on our social media. Tag them back.
And so how do designers go about that?
Things.
Would they reach out to you directly, or?
So if they reached out to marketing at Howard Elliott, then they can just say like, hey, here, I'm interested in Friday Friends. Tell me what you need. And they'll send an image. Bree really likes it if they have a little story behind it or some inspiration, why they choose that piece. In the fall, we also do, usually in the fall, we do a contest called Show Us Your Howard Elliott. And so that's we end up with a lot of Friday Friends from it, but it also gives our customers the opportunity to submit their designs and their installations with our product into a contest. So we get a panel of judges, and, sometimes high profile designers or people from the publications, things like that, and they judge all of the.
I also get a lot of
it's fun.
Friends
it's a really
from
cool
tags
opportunity
on
to see what
Instagram. So
customers
like
are doing.
I'm constantly like checking our Instagram, checking notifications and all of that. So customer or designers or anybody are using our products and then they tag us in it. Normally that's the best way that I get like, hey, you used our product. Can I reuse this in this case? And that's the same for one of these in this reel right now. So
perfect. Okay, easy. That's great.
And as another layer of that, often, so we don't print a full catalog, but we print kind of what we call a lookbook. It's almost like our coffee table book. There are times that we actually use some of this imagery in those books, so they're tagged as
I love
in
how
our catalogs
involved
and all of that
you
also.
are with the designers. I've actually done projects with Howard Elliott since 2020, I think, is the first time that we ever collaborated on the Seasonal Living Show House. So that was, forever ago. And you guys have always been so designer focused and oriented. Kudos to you guys. Like, that's why I enjoy working with you.
And that was one of the things, when we started talking about mixing up our price levels and those kinds of things, we've heard so much feedback from our design customers that there was stigma about selling to designers, and there's still wholesale companies that won't sell to the design trade, which I think is ridiculous, but and we just don't have that. And it's still, we still get customers that'll walk into the showroom and say, do you sell to designers? And we're like, yes, we love you. Like, bring it on. We also have an open daily showroom in Las Vegas that caters to a lot of both local and regional designers. We retag that showroom at retail aftermarket so they can safely bring their customers in and not have to worry about them seeing wholesale pricing or any of that.
And what a amazing thing that you're doing for designers. I mean, just to protect us, nobody's doing that. So thank you.
I mean, but because so it's the first 2 floors of the Las Vegas design, or the building A at the Las Vegas market, are open daily to the public, really, which people don't necessarily know either. But we get pretty decent traffic through there.
Okay.
We're doing a CEU event in the fall there with a couple of other showrooms. So I'll definitely get you guys that information also. But, during market, we're always hosting happy hours and that kind of thing, whether it's in Vegas or High Point. But we really want that kind of welcoming environment. As we dive a little further into the website, we've made it as clean as possible to see everything that you can without even being signed in. So if a designer is working with a client or talking with a customer and they're not logged in, they're going to see this login for pricing, but they're still going to see all of the product data and all of the information. So this just happens to be one of our made to order pieces, but all of the product information's there. Apparently we're a little slow to load today. All of the details, the dimensions, any additional information that we have. And down here, there used to be pricing down here, so I'm glad it's not here. Any pricing that's shown on the forward-facing site is suggested retail. So we'll never show anything wholesale. But it's nice to be able to have them see all of these items, see all of the information without having to be logged in. We often get a lot of people who will kind of explore things and say, oh my God, I saw all these things on your site. Now tell me how to get into it. So it is kind of an incredible, it's nice because I hate the websites that don't give you any information.
Yeah.
But once you sign in.
By the way, love the colors. That's new, right? That's a newer one?
Yeah. So now that we're signed in, what I love about this is anytime you sign in, it puts you right back in the same place you are. The old site would kick you all the way back to the beginning and do all of this craziness. So now you've got the pricing on it. You've got all of the imagery. You can click and zoom into that imagery.
And I love that
you can get deeper in on that texture of that fabric.
Shots. So it's not one or the other.
No, and the lifestyle. So before we go to market with anything, we at the very least have all the silhouette images, all of the different angles, all of those things, because it's really hard to show product and go to market with it. And especially because the website mirrors our sales app. So if a rep isn't going to be at market or a customer can't be there, we want them to be able to see everything right away that we introduce it.
Yep.
We work tirelessly on our imagery. So from a product page standpoint, what's nice about this is there's a couple of things you can do. You can either just click here and download a PDP page for the item, and it'll pull you up a PDF. There's no pricing shown on here.
Nice.
So if somebody needed to send this right over to their customer, they've got all the product information, dimensions, everything, but no pricing.
Wow.
Look, I love our website team because they do a lot of things that I could never do. Now, the nice part about this being a PDF is they can go in and edit it, take our logo off, take any of the information off of it that they need to, and it's good to go for their customers. What they can also do is save this to a wish list. So you can create custom wish lists for every customer that you're doing. So they could have a design board for every project that they're working on, those kinds of things. And it's super easy to create that. And then it's just there in that wish list. As you go looking for additional products, kind of once you start with one wish list, it'll almost default to that one. So you're not always having to select everything.
Yeah. Great.
But then those wish lists live on a specific page. So I like this from an organizational standpoint of being able to say, okay, here's what this customer liked when we were talking. Here are these items. What we're working on right now is the ability for logged in users to export this as a PDF with the number of pieces that they want per page and all of that. Currently, they have to add everything to a cart. So then it goes into the shopping cart here. And it's still it's still nice because they can export that into one download.
Yep.
And that has all of the product specs and all of those things.
Cool.
So it's still a great way. And it's also a great way for them to show their customers, like, here are the things that I picked out for you.
Yeah.
Your wish list doesn't go away when you add it to a shopping cart. So you don't have to worry that, like, you've added it and now you can't see it anymore. It doesn't go away.
Okay.
So it's a nice feature. I love also the fact that you can add notes on the orders. So we have a lot of customers that'll place orders and add a note, sidebar for this,
like this
or
is
this is what this is. It's helpful for them. It's helpful for us.
Combination software, with some of these features.
I mean, it's been, we've been through a couple of really challenging websites.
Sure.
Our last site was it was tough to maneuver. We really felt like it put up some roadblocks for customers to work with us.
Yeah.
And so as Bree and I were looking at designing the new site, we had this like long wish list of all of these things that, combined from all the previous websites and the feedback and those kinds of things that we had gotten. Two of the features that I love, one of them I believe you know about. So we have an AI search feature. And so you can either upload an image from your computer or drag and drop an image into here, and it will show you anything that we have that's similar to that image. So earlier, I had tested this to see how accurate it was going to be. And keep in mind, it takes a little while for it to learn everything. But this is an image that I pulled offline. It is not our product. Okay. So that's the other key. It does not have to be ours.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of goes into what we were talking about before we got on about the reverse search imagery throughout a bunch of lines. This kind of gives somebody to look at our line and say,
I can see it in that thumbnail. It's
what do they have that's similar?
Right?
So my original mirror, did you see what that looked like? Yeah. So it looks almost exactly like this first one, but it gives you anything that's in kind of the same shape,
that,
the
arch.
finally
exists in a way that we
all
can
of those
use
types
it,
of things with it.
And not just like Google reverse image search where you find everything. This is so specific to your website, trade, and what you're looking for. So awesome.
Well, and what's been nice about it also, I mean, I tested it live for a customer this week. They had some accessories on their shelf and I went over and took a picture and I said, I took a picture of this accessory. Here's what it came back with. And they said, well, is that yours? And I said, no, it's not ours. It's, I don't know whose it is, but here's what we have that are similar. We've also found that it's useful at trade shows to be able to, if you have a designer or a customer that comes in that says, I'm looking for a mirror that looks like this.
So I just want to pause for a
take a
second
picture
and
of a
clarify
picture.
something. So you said when you did that in your showroom, you pulled things that were not necessarily from your inventory in that search. Is that happening here too, or in your app here too?
Well,
the inventory
I just uploaded an image
that
is not, that mirror that I uploaded is not ours.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify.
I pulled it off of Google.
Any image anywhere, it could be in a setting is what you're also saying. So like it could be in a roomscape, not necessarily a picture of a mirror.
I think that would work. I haven't tested it yet.
Okay.
But like and this is where it gets a little wonky. I was testing a vase earlier. So let's see if I can get this one. This again is just some random vase that I pulled offline. So it'll look at, as we all know, ChatGPT and AI is great, but it does take a little while to get going. And so it's looking for this blue and white patterned vase and what we have in our line that has some of the same characteristics.
Cool.
So it's really cool. And then what's nice also is on these items, if you see something that's back ordered, you've always got a view similar option here, right?
Items that are in
similar is going to pull up items
like if you're
in the
looking for the
sidebar
back
here that are
ordered
similar
item
to
that
that
is
item
not
that
in
you looked
stock
at.
and you're trying to find a similar item, those items will be
totally
the
AI
ones that
generated.
are in stock that are similar to that one.
This is brilliant. This is absolutely mind-blowing because you look at the site and you're like, oh, it's really pretty, but you don't realize like the logic and how it's really serving like you and the way that you're working in such a positive way. This is amazing, guys.
Thank you. I think that it's just been so much more functional. So from a sales perspective of it, my sales reps could log into the website as their customer. So yesterday I had a customer that wanted to show me a bunch of things that she was looking at. So she was putting things into a wish list or into a favorites list, tagging it for me. I can log into the website as her and see those items that she selected and add to it or make another wish list for her. And it's right there on her portal. So she's not, same thing with the shopping cart. I can go into her shopping cart. I can see what's going on with it.
And the
All
designer
of this can be done in real time.
I just want to clarify because designer and client.
I mean, we both could be logged in at the same time.
The end user cannot get in. Okay.
End user cannot get in, but the sales rep from our admin portal and from their rep portals can log in as the customer.
Okay.
So if a customer said, hey, look at these items that I have in my shopping cart, I need to get to, you guys are running a promotion and we have a certain threshold, help me add to it. The rep can go in there and add to their shopping cart or add notes or, it's super helpful for, it's really helpful in a couple of ways. I mean, the reps can create a wish list for a customer independent of all of this, but it's a good way for a customer to say, here are the items that I'm thinking about. This will give you inspiration for the rest of it. And now I need you to give me mirrors for it or whatever it is. Okay. And that's what I'm using it for right now is I have a customer that we're going to, create an assortment for. And she went in to say, here's where my eye goes
a website that you're shopping from.
And then that helps me
collaborate so deeply in that.
Build up her assortment.
Yeah.
Well, I also don't think that people think about that from like a vendor customer relationship all the time, and especially with the design trade, there are so many solopreneurs that are independent designers that don't have all of the staff behind them. And so their sales rep or their vendor connection or whoever it is an extension of their team. And this really gives us the ability to be that helpful extension to them.
Love it.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the ins and outs of all of that. We have a couple of other sections up here. Our blogs, again, I mentioned partnerships, and that's really our company mantra is committed partnerships because we don't just want to be another vendor in the list, right? We want to be partners. We want people to reach out to us, to talk to us, to tell us how we can help them, how we can be better partners. Bree developed a committed partners program where we'll collaborate with somebody on kind of a deeper basis, right? So it's taking that Friday Friends a step further. And so we have that opportunity for people to reach out to marketing at Howard Elliott to say, look, I'd love to be part of your committed partner program. And it really means like promoting each other, a little bit of purchasing minimums and things like that, but also discounts for being part of that. And it's a program that we're really working on developing a lot. So there's information on all of that here. And then one of the other things that we do a lot of is custom product. And so one of the things that people always assume from a custom product standpoint is there are minimums. But we do individual mirrors in particular. An individual accessory or an accent furniture piece is a little more challenging, but we do a lot of custom mirrors and they're in single pieces. So, I mean, the lead time's longer, and we kind of always say to somebody, if somebody's in the showroom and says, oh, do you make this larger, smaller, a different finish, whatever, our response is always, we can do it if you have the budget and lead time.
Okay.
It's obviously a one-off, maybe a little more expensive if they're changing the overall construction.
That's really good to know.
And
I'm glad you shared that.
We make those things fully overseas, so we need that lead time.
This tab that you're under right now is where they can find the info.
But we do onesie, twosie in that custom mirror all the time. That's under hospitality and design. There's a note about that under the mirror program. And I'll backtrack one more section just because I think that this is one of the coolest things that we've done. We have a program called Custom Color.
Trays and stuff that you have too with all
so there's about 100 different silhouettes in the line. So they would match
the trays
that
and
we
all
will
that collection
paint
that
domestically one of 14 high gloss colors.
Oh, cool.
So it shows it's close. It's not exact. So in the past we had done like a send us your Benjamin Moore color thing. And it became more challenging because different frame materials hold paint differently. That was a challenge. So we kind of chose like the 14 most popular colors that we thought would be. But these first two mirrors that are shown here, we stocked them in a bright gold because that's how it comes in. And then kind of a like a bronze color for the second one. But this shows you how much cooler a really traditional, ornate frame looks when it's glossy white or hot pink, or, this is a 8-foot tall mirror
Oh my God.
that we usually bring in like a silver leaf.
Wow.
And
I
you
love
wouldn't
that
think that we
green.
would sell a lot of them, but we do.
Yeah.
So this here, here's kind of all of the other similar
Okay, so
products,
that's
and
gonna
then
be
this
under
is
your
one of the
mirror
original
program?
finishes.
Is that how you
Under
talked
mirror,
Okay.
and then you turn it black, and it's a completely different piece.
Wow.
So
Okay,
that's
and then
always
you'll
a
be able
fun
to see the
program for
14
designers
colors
as well.
there. I'm like, what? I have a mirror problem.
And then
Okay,
custom
so
color.
I'm like, what colors will go in my
There's a
outfits
little
that you have?
widget
I'm
for
gonna go
it.
check it out now.
Yep.
Awesome. I know.
Right. Now I've got to find one that matches your signature color. And we did this, I mean, many, many years ago. We had a larger retailer who said, I want one in our color.
Okay.
Okay. And then they ordered 50 of them to go in all of their stores, and it was a kind of exclusive to them kind of thing. So, yeah.
Very cool.
And then the other little thing that's here, because it's like the website that keeps on giving. So there is an assortment of backlit mirrors.
Okay.
This product is all produced individually. We don't stock the backlit mirrors because most projects have different specifications as far as the lumens,
especially
or where
for
they
builders,
want
because
the light
use a
bars
lot
to
of these
go,
in
or frosted and all of that.
when I'm
But this
doing the
is kind
spec
of
houses, so you can
a tool
actually
chest,
custom.
so to speak, of what our backlit mirror programs can look like.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
We did one for a design customer, which kind of goes back to, we rarely say no unless we really feel like we have to. But we were sitting in the High Point showroom, and her husband said, could you do a like front and back backlit
Where did
mirror
they hang
that
it? Do you know where
suspends
it
from the
went?
ceiling? And I was like, yep, just send us the drawing, send us the spec of it, and we'll quote it
That's
out.
a cool idea. I
And,
like that.
it's
Yep.
turned out
Yeah,
very
very
cool,
awesome.
but it's,
Cool. Well, this has been absolutely amazing.
it went into a master bath.
We don't really think about these
So-
things when
so
we're looking at
double-sided vanity
websites for
almost.
products. So I hope that this is going to help the designers watching this video like truly understand, how to use this and the tools that aren't as obvious in your website, but are huge time savers. So thank you so much for showing us around. Is there anything else you
Other
want to
things,
add?
and just in case anyone has questions, like we're always here. If you have questions, if you're having a hard time getting to the website, if you want to know how to do something, you saw it quickly in this video, like whatever it may be, like you can always ask anyone here. Like we have an updates at howardelliott.com that people can, submit questions to. They can reach out to me. They can reach out to Colleen. Like we monitor all of the things. If you're sending us an Instagram message, if you're sending us an email, a phone call, whatever it may be, like if you've got the questions, like please ask them. We'd rather you like someone ask and us be able to help than get confused or something happen and not, continue on. So,
and we're constantly evolving the site. I mentioned like, we're working on this so that you can export and things like that. We're always updating. So one of the next things that's coming in addition to the ability to export those wish lists.
All right, well, I'm
is
gonna go play now.
We're going to
and see
load
what new
all of
products
the
you've
customer
got on your
historical
site in the
data.
past
you know
couple
what
weeks.
custom
So
mirror
they'll
you
be able
order.
to see
Thank
all
you
of
so
their
much.
orders and all of their invoices and all of those things also.
Yeah, I like that blue one because I don't have any blue in here yet, and that's one of my colors, so I might need to do that. Thank you, ladies. I'm going to be talking to you soon on the podcast over the summer, so we will, take a deeper dive on this, but I'm glad that we got the visual today, so I appreciate you being here. Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.